Happy Wednesday, everyone. Today is October the 28th, and we're still working on subtraction. We're going to be learning the strategy of partial difference again today. We're going to practice that strategy, and hopefully some of these strategies are starting to click with you, that subtraction makes sense to you a little bit better, and hopefully you can find one of those strategies that works best for you so that you can solve problems more fluently. So we're just going to jump right into the very first problem. And the very first problem today is 722 take away 375. Now yesterday we learned the parts of a subtraction sentence or a subtraction equation. The first number is the minuend, which is the whole number like we talked about. That we're going to be taking parts of it away and getting the part that's left. The second number is the subtrahedron, which is the hardest word I've ever tried to say, just to be honest. And then we're going to get the difference, so which is going to be our answer to our subtraction problem. So in this particular problem, I want you to think about how we did it with addition. In addition, we broke apart both numbers. But in subtraction, we don't have to. We can just break apart the first or the second number. So I'm going to go ahead and start out with my 722, leaving it as the number itself and not necessarily breaking it apart, because I can do that with the second number to help me there. So I'm going to do 722 take away, and the first thing that I'm going to take away to make it easier for me is I'm going to go ahead and take away 300. So when I take away 300, I end up with 400. So I'm going to go ahead and I end up with 422. I'm sorry, 422. And I'm going to go ahead and bring that number down here because I'm going to subtract from that again. And this time I'm going to subtract, I'm going to go ahead and go to the tens place, that 70 that's in the tens place. But I'm going to break that 70 down just so it's easier for me. I'm going to go ahead and take 20 of that 70 and take it away so that I end up with 402. Oops. And then I'm going to go ahead and take 402 and minus 50. So now I've got the full 70 there. So I can break numbers apart any way that I need to make it easier for me to subtract. Now I could have easily broken apart and did subtraction and did 70 there, but for me, when I'm doing math mentally in my head, I break numbers apart just like I'm showing you here on the screen. Now we all do things differently. Again, you don't have to break the numbers down the same way that I do, as long as in the end we're all subtracting 375 or taking away 375. We should end up with the same answer. So in this particular subtraction portion of this problem, I'm going to take 50 away from 402 and I get 352. So I'm going to go ahead and bring 352 down. Now I'm finished with taking away the tens, and I'm ready to take away 5. Now again, in my head, I'm not going to do it here. I'm not going to break that 5 down, but I could very easily break it down into 2. And I can take 2 away, 2 and 3, and I can take 2 away from 352. But instead, I'm going to go ahead and just leave it as a 5. But again, you can break that number down. But if I'm doing this problem, I can go ahead, like I said, in my mind, I'm going to go ahead and take that 2 away to get that nice friendly number of 350. I have 3 more to take away, so my final answer is going to be 347. Okay, for this next problem, I'm going to go ahead and subtract the hundreds so I can start breaking this number down, the second number. And I'm going to take 439, take away 100, and that's going to give me 339. So I'm going to go ahead and make 339 here. And this time I'm going to take away 30. I'm going to break the 80 in the tens place up to 30 and 50 to make it easier for me. to break those numbers down. Again, you do not have to do that. You can break the number apart in any way that you can, as long as these numbers add up to the number that you're taking away. So I want you to break numbers up so they make sense to you, which is very, very important. So now I'm going to take away the other 50 of that 80 to make my answer 259. And then I'm going to do 259, and I'm finished with the hundreds place and the tens, and I'm going to go ahead and take away the ones at this point to get 256. So I want you to think about how you can break numbers apart to make it easier for you to calculate. That's our goal, is to make it easier for you to calculate to get the answer. Making sure that, and I'm going to go ahead and put a mark here for you, making sure that these numbers here, when added back together, they equal the number that is here. So 100 plus 30 plus 50 is 180, plus 3 more is 183. So they have to match the numbers, the second number that the one you're taking away. So in this point in the lesson, I would actually have you to be trying these problems on your own. So I would like for you to take this problem that I have on the screen and try it on your own, on your dry erase board, on a paper and pencil, using paper and pencil, whatever you have there available to work this problem out. I would try to do the partial difference. It is a little bit easier to break the number down and subtract it that way. I really wasn't having to think about regrouping. I was actually using some counting forward, counting backward methods when I was doing the problem. It just made it a little easier to count up by tens or count back by tens to get my answer for each section of the problem. I do want to remind you not to be confused by this A at the end of my number sentence. It is just a variable that can represent any number. In this case, it's going to actually answer the question that A could represent the answer to this question. So don't be confused when you see those variables there. It just means that it could be any number that represents the answer here. So that's why that A is there. It's not, and it can be any variable. It can be M for Marcia, for my name, if I wanted it to be. It just represents the unknown in the number sentence at this point. So try this problem on your own and see what you can come up with. I want you, in the comments on your lesson work, there's a private lessons comments that you can make a comment to me. I want you to tell me what your favorite Halloween song is. I have a YouTube link to my favorite Halloween song. And in the private comments, I want you to comment your favorite song and the name of my favorite song in the private comments on the lesson. I hope everyone enjoys my song today. It's kind of a silly little song, and it always cracks me up. I used to have a CD that I played in my car with this on as I was driving to school in the mornings during Halloween, and my youngest son and I would just sing all the way to school. So we kind of enjoy it. We think it's just a funny little song. So if you've watched the video, then you should be able to comment in the private lesson comments your favorite Halloween song and the name of my song. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. I'm looking forward to seeing those um, superhero shirts today. And then I'm really getting excited about costume day. So I hope everyone enjoys their day. Get your work finished so that you're not working all day long. And hopefully you can get it done early in the morning and get to spend some time this afternoon just enjoying what you like. Have a great day.